President of ICSAN, and the Chairman, Governing Council, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo. Thank you very much, Madam, for coming. And I would like to seize this opportunity on behalf of the EXCO to thank you profusely for your support to this administration so far. We have seen your hand. We have seen everything you've done. We know that you're an empathetic leader, and we appreciate you. So thank you, and it's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much, and it's our duty to continue to support all our chapters as a national. You know, the chapters are our babies, and we want to see you soar. We want to see the chapters thrive. As you're aware, the national cannot be everywhere, right? So the much we can do to empower our chapters so that they can also fly and continue to take the flag of what ICSAN stands for higher is all that we aim to achieve as a council. And that is why we cannot but continue to support. We're really proud of the Lagos State chapter, which we proudly call the flagship chapter. We call it the flagship chapter for a reason, because of the kind of exploits that the Lagos State chapter has been making. It has actually gingered other chapters to also be on top of their game, and which makes us presently to have so many chapters that are also, you know, aiming to be like a Lagos State. So for Ms. Efosa Ewere FCIS, I expect nothing less. She has always delivered at very sensitive assignments that she has been given, both at the national level and at the chapter level. So I'm not surprised that she has emerged as our chairman, and we're going to give her all the support because I know for the fact that she is going to do well. And with the crop of men and women on our EXCO, I also have no doubt that they're going to deliver excellently well.
What would you advise the incoming executives of the Lagos State chapter?
The Lagos State chapter is the prima donna of all the chapters. And so you stand on very broad shoulders, and a lot is going to be expected from members in terms of how do you support their practice? How do we encourage younger professionals how do we retain them in our institute? What are the innovations that you can bring in an era of technology? So it has to really be a lot of value creation to make sure that Lagos State chapter, as I said, as the prima donna of all the chapters, continues to retain that antecedent. And so we are here to just say, we are working together. Let me end with the African proverb that says that if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. So you must work with the national and with other chapters and find points of collaboration. But just know that we're here to support you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ukpana. You heard her. If you want to go fast, walk alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. And she has advised this administration to join with other chapters and collaborate. That's the word, collaboration, to move this institute to greater heights. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ukpana. It's always lovely to have you.
My name is Olatunde Busari. I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria, and I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Secretaries.
Indeed. Leonard Silk, as a distinguished legal practitioner, former chairman of ICSAN Lagos State chapter, someone who has excelled in all spheres of life, what advice do you have for the 12th executive chairman and the EXCO members?
First, I will correct you. I'm a past president, national president of ICSAN, not chairman of the Lagos chapter. I think I was president over 10 years ago, and I congratulate the incoming chapter chair of ICSAN Lagos chapter, Efosa Ewere. My advice is that she should be steadfast. She's lucky to be standing on the shoulders of very great men and past chapter chairs. She should build on the gains and make the chapter more visible, more active, more professional. And when she's leaving, she should look behind and be proud of what she has achieved.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. We're truly grateful for your time. Thank you, sir.
We're talking beauty with brains. Yes, amazing and personable. Yes, we have to. If we don't hype our own, who should we hype? I mean, so you have here the 12th chairman of Lagos, in ICSAN Lagos State Chapter, in the person of Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS. It's always lovely to have you, Madam Chairman. You're welcome to your investiture. You're the reason we're here. And I would like to start by congratulating you again for this honor and the task ahead, because we have heard so many glowing things said about her. I mean, the chairman, ICSAN, has given a vote where she stated categorically that Efosa has not failed in the past and she doesn't expect anything less. The standard is set. So congratulations for that as well, because it takes a lot for one to give that kind of statement in a forum like this. So welcome to the investiture, and I want to congratulate you. And how do you feel?
Well, the day is here. I feel honored, I feel humbled. I look around, I looked across the room, and I felt very excited to see that I was able to take out people, very busy people, who ordinarily would not take their time for granted, pulling them out from their comfort zone to grace this occasion. So I feel very happy and I'm excited. And I feel humbled too. That's very important, because sometimes you ask yourself, well, what have you done to deserve all of this? But it could only be God. So thank you. And I also want to say thank you to everyone that's taken out their time. I know this is just the beginning of the occasion, but it's never too late to say thank you. It's always good to recognize the fact that people are around to support you. People are around to give you whether moral support, financial support, words of encouragement, in whatever form that they deserve. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to ask, I know that you have great plans for this institute, for this chapter. Madam, the national chairman has mentioned that Lagos is the flagship chapter. We know that. We know that all other chapters are looking up to us. And this administration is not going to be any different. We have received accolades for accomplishments in the past, and this year time around, I know that we have a lot in stock. Can you just shed some light on a few of the plans? What is the plan? What should members of ICSAN look forward to in the next 2 years?
Okay, in the next 2 years, I want to see that we bring the governance more to the grassroots. Grassroots in the sense that you want to take it to younger generation, you want to take it to budding professionals, because some of us get into this space and you find out that you want to know more. So I'm going to push for continuous learning programs, and ensure that we are top-notch on our branding, because it's one thing to be a professional and it's another thing to be able to brand yourself in a proper way that people would see you and be envious of that thing which you represent. So that's going to be my focus for the next 2 years.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. And what would you say to the members? What do we expect? Because really, a task like this is not one to be borne by one person or even 10, 11 people, which is the number we have on the exco. It is a task for every one of us. So what would you say? What do you have to say to the members?
To the members, I would say please come on board. I don't think any association can grow without members. So we should take it as a responsibility to ensure that we attend events, to ensure that we volunteer ourselves to positions and areas where we think we can fill in the gap, because there is no way an association would grow without members. It's an association, it's members that make up an association. So if you have come either through examination processes or even the fast track system, whatever way you become a member of this association, I think it's a responsibility that we should come together and see the association grow stronger and across board. There's nothing wrong in us having even international members. So if we oh, that's good. That's very good. So I think it's something that we should be very conscious of, even as an organization, and even the members should also be conscious of the fact that it is you who would make that organization, and the organization will not make itself without the members. Thank you.
And let me congratulate you. One last thing, I would like to congratulate you for the award, the very recent global award, the award for the Global Corporate Secretary of the Year, which was given to a member of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. And it is such a great coincidence that this is happening at the time that you're just stepping in. So congratulations, Madam Chairman. I hope we'll see more.
Yes, thank you. And I'm very proud of Mrs. Utokpana FCIS for bringing that award home. And we are very proud as members of that organization that we're recognized based on one of our own being top on that list.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Have a lovely time.
The investiture of the 12th chairman, ICSAN Lagos. Please put your hands together. All right, we gather again to mark another significant milestone in the history of ICSAN Lagos State. As a new chairman come aboard, we celebrate not only the leadership and but also the progress and achievements of the institute here in Lagos State, which we all regard as the foremost chapter, I'm sure, right? Yes. Thank you.
That was from the immediate past.
Yeah. So we celebrate the progress and achievement of the chapter, and throughout the ceremony, I'm sure we'll reflect on the values that have brought us to this point and look forward to the exciting possibilities that lie ahead under the guidance of our new chairman. So welcome you all warmly once again as we embark on this new chapter of our journey. My name is Funmi Omobori, and I'm not going to be doing this alone. I'm going to be hosting this show alongside my friend and my brother, Sam Uche. I am a actor, director, producer, MC extraordinaire. Please put your hands together for Sam Uche. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you. Good morning, everyone. Very interesting to be here. Again, the fact that we have a lady chairing the state. Okay, so that would mean that we have a lot of motherly care. And I looked through and I found out that we have the females too on top. So it's Madame at the top, not on at the top now.
Exactly.
Please, all the ladies in the house, can you celebrate yourselves? Celebrate yourselves. So much inclusion now.
Most def. All right, I'll crave your indulgence for us all to please rise as we kickstart the event with the national anthem.
you.
All right, thank you so much. And we're going to be calling on.
Please, while standing, let's invite Mrs. Anna Mbadiwe for a very short opening prayer.
Mrs. Anna? All right, thank you so much.
In Jesus' name, Most High God, thank you so very much this morning. Thank you for the opportunity you've given to us to be alive and standing, even Lord, in this investiture. Lord, we praise your name in the name of Jesus. And Lord, the Lord, we invite you to take over everything we're doing, from the beginning to the end in the name of Jesus. And we present your daughter, Lord, given the opportunity to lead the Lord, this wonderful Lord organization. I will ask the Lord for your wisdom in the name of Jesus. Take over, Most High God, to the glory of your holy name. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Anna Onyebuchukwu.
Ladies are taking over here. She's the landlady of the.
Must you?
No, it's important to know that so that the next rent can be reviewed.
Thank you, Mrs. Onyebuchukwu. All right, at this particular point in time, we're going to be recognizing our council members and our special guests. And as you know, Sam has referenced over and over again in the last couple of minutes, we have ladies at the helm. So we're going to be starting from Madame at the top.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. And so we're going to be calling on the President, Chairman of Council, Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS. Please, a round of applause for her. Please, I'll pray for your indulgence. Please come to the stage. Ushers, can you please help her? Please keep the clap coming until she gets to the stage.
Also, we have the Vice President, Mrs. Uto Ubana, FCIS, another lady of honor. Please a round of applause. I think the men should be clapping more. I think the men should be clapping more.
Members here seated. Of course, we have Dr. Nosike Agoke, FCIS, past president. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you for being here.
And also next, a member of the Government Council here present with us, Mr. Oyedele Togunde. Mr. Oyedele Togunde, please, FCIS, please join us.
Thank you so much for joining us here. All right. Other members that will be joining us on stage. Of course, we have the chairman of this special occasion, talking about Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAN, FCIS. You're welcome, so please, a round of applause. Kindly come on stage, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Alright, also to join us on the high table, the keynote speaker is auspicious event. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together with Mr. Tolu Odukale. Please a round of applause for Mr. Tolu Odukale.
Alright, and we have the outgoing chairman, ICSAN Lagos State, Mr. Olufemi Shoko. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Shoko.
Oh, we need to give a round of applause for him. Okay, so I was trying to balance the gender. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, to join us, the 12th chairman of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter, who is coming to sit. No, sir, this way, please. Let's just balance.
So that we have gender balance on stage.
Yes. So we don't have the male on one end and the female on the other end. Marker Swift. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to join us, the 12th chairman, the incoming chairman of the ICSAN Lagos State Chapter, who is coming to sit on the 6th chair. So you can see the balance there. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I'm sure that's why we're here to celebrate with her. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Efosa Ewere, FCIS. A round of applause for her. Thank you. Oh, come on. I'm sure the school members already doing have the honor. You want to join the school members to join this elegant, beautiful, and of course audacious here. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. You're far too kind. You may please have your seats. And I would also like to recognize, the arrival of Mrs. Abiola Lassane, the FCIS, his council member. You're welcome.
Also, we have in the house. The chairman of NBA Lagos branch. I mean, a young man I met out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. BC Makonjuola. A round of applause for him. Thank you for joining us.
I'd also like to recognize the presence of Mr. Efosa Ewere, FCIS. Thank you so much for being here. Your workshop, Magdalene DK.
Oh, sorry, your worship.
Okay, your worship, Magdalene DK. All right. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, our special guest that opened the floor with prayer, Mrs. Anna Onyebuchukwu. Please, a round of applause. Thank you for being here. I'm sure we have so many dignitaries in our midst. As time goes on, we'll definitely be announcing your names. You are all specially welcome to this event. Please, a round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move straight into the program for the day. And if you have the brochure, we'll be having the next program item on the program, which is the President's opening remark. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome the President, Chairman of Council, Mrs. Fumi Mbadiwe, FCIS, for her opening remarks. Please a round of applause for her. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very able and ebullient masters of ceremony. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, our chairman. Let me start by recognizing the usual order of protocol. Our vice president, the global award winner, as we all know, Mrs. Uto Upana, FCIS. I'd also like to recognize our honorary treasurer who will be joining us any moment from now, Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS. I'd like to recognize the immediate past president, Mr. Taobenga Okalade. I believe he will be joining us as well, either virtually or here physically any moment from now. The chairman of this occasion, my own big brother, past president of the Institute, and also a council member, Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAN, FCIS. You can do better, please. Thank you. Our council members here present, some of them have already been acknowledged. I'm sure some are joining us virtually as well. Interestingly, we have a couple of council members, quite a number of council members who have also led this wonderful chapter. I'm sure they'll be joining us online. They cannot be here physically with us. To all the past presidents of our great institute, here in present and also virtually online, I recognize you. The chairman of the Lagos State chapter, please compares. It is not Lagos chapter, it is Lagos State chapter. So just take note of that. Miss Efosa Ewere, FCIS. The reason why we're all gathered here this afternoon, I recognize you. To the new exco of the chapter, the invited guests, members of the Lagos State chapter, all ICSAN members who have joined to witness this ceremony, either physically or virtually, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am profoundly delighted to address you on this important occasion of the investiture of the new chairman and inauguration of a new executive committee for the Lagos State chapter of our institute, the Institute of Charter Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. What we are doing today is the culmination of a process which began with the holding of a peaceful, rancor-free and itch-free chapter election. It is remarkable that smooth transition from one administration to the other is a hallmark of ICSAN's governance culture, and we have consistently demonstrated this in all ramifications, including chapters and national body succession planning practices. Today marks the beginning of another era in the annals of the Lagos State chapter, being the day the baton of leadership is formally and ceremonially passed to another set of leaders to steer the affairs of the chapter for the next 2 years. I have known the chairman, Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, for quite a number of years. Ms. Ewere has served in numerous committees of the Institute at the national level and also at the chapter level, and she has never hesitated when called upon for one assignment or the other. Likewise, she has held varied responsible positions within the hierarchy of the Lagos State chapter, which has now culminated in ascension to the position of chairman of the chapter. Please, can we appreciate her? Ms. Ewere's passion, commitment, and pursuit of excellence always stand her out, and it is therefore no surprise to me that the members of the chapter have reposed enough confidence in her to bestow on her the mantle of leadership for the next 2 years. I am fully aware that the duties and responsibilities before the new chairman and the new exco are quite enormous, because they are under the obligation not only to sustain the enviable position of the institute, but also that of Lagos State chapter as the flagship chapter of our great institute. They are also saddled now with the responsibility of taking the chapter to the next and greater heights. However, I have no doubt in my mind that with God's guidance and the unwavering support of every single member of this flagship chapter and all stakeholders generally, the new chairman will definitely succeed on the job. Thank you very much. The newly elected exco members are also men and women of integrity who have been serving the Institute with commitment and passion in one capacity or the other over the years. I hereby charge the new leadership to confront the new duties and responsibilities with unwavering sense of focus, dedication, and commitment for which charter secretaries and administrators and indeed governance professionals are reputed. I also urge the new exco, under the able leadership of the new chairman, to carry members of the chapter along in their governance and policy implementations. This is because the members constitute the veritable assets required for the actualization of the chapter's dreams and aspirations. The leadership should strive to lead with cherished principles of transparency, accountability, disclosure, discipline, and sincerity of purpose. For these are the invaluable ingredients for a successful leadership. Likewise, I will enjoin all members to give their unalloyed support to the new chairman and members of the EXCO. I enjoin each and every one of you to maintain the spirit of one ICSAN that we have been known for, and to collaborate for the realization of the objectives of both the chapter and the institute at large. Accordingly, the members are enjoined to continue to pay their chapter dues. Hello? I hope we all heard that loud and clear. I know that Lagos State chapter members continue to blaze the trail, and you will continue to do so. Okay, so other than the chapter dues, of course, you know that you also have to pay the national dues. Hello? And I trust that we also continue to pay it promptly. I also encourage you to continue to participate actively in all the enriching programs and events of both the national and the chapter. We on our part at the national level assure you of proper support and guidance at all times. This is what we have been doing for all our chapters. Like I was saying during the short interview I had, you know, the national cannot be everywhere at the same time. So we rest and rely on the chapters to help in our penetration strategies towards taking the gospel of corporate governance across different jurisdictions and different states. And this is what we shall continue to do. While the national body will not micromanage any chapter, it is desirable that you also carry us along on your major programs so that we can give you appropriate support and sense of direction. I want to thank the chairman of the occasion once again, our respected past president of the Institute, our Mr. Olatunde Busari, SCN, FCIS, for graciously accepting to chair this occasion. Another round of applause for him, please. I also want to thank everyone who has made today's investiture of the new chairman and induction of the new executive committee members of the Lagos State Chapter a reality. We will not be here today without your proper planning and implementation. And on that note, my kudos goes to the Investiture Planning Committee. Wherever you are, please give yourselves a round of applause. I would also like to commend the EXCO and every other member who has been involved in making today's program a success. I would also like to appreciate all the sponsors who have supported the event in one way or the other. As I close these brief remarks, I will be remiss if I do not acknowledge and thank very sincerely the outgoing chairman, Mr. Olufemi Shokon, FCIS. You can do better than that. 2 years of hard work is no mean feat. Thank you, Mr. Shokon. Together with his outgoing expo, I want to say that their team did an excellent job and also took the chapter to enviable heights during their time, and they've been able to give a very good account of their stewardship. Another round of applause, please. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our invited guests, I have the honor and privilege to welcome you again very warmly to the investiture ceremony of the 12th chairman of the Lagos State Chapter of the Institute of Charter Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening.
I'm sure we can do better than that for our president, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS. Of course, she's also chairman of Council, ICSAN. And I'm glad that we bear the same first name. In case you are not bearing Fumi, you are allowed to change your name to Fumi. You understand what I'm saying? Please, another round of applause for Mrs. President. All right, quickly, some recognitions before we move on to the next item. I have the honor of introducing Mrs. Nkechi Onyeso, FCIS council member. She's also chairman of Publicity and Advocacy Committee, ICSAN. Please, a round of applause for her. Prince Omorigbe Erejaoba. I hope I got that correctly. All right, please, you're most welcome. Please, a round of applause for him. Mr. Sunday Afemeke. Where are you, please? You're most welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. All right, moving on quickly to the next item. I have the chairman's opening remarks. And so please, let's make a warm welcome for the chairman of the occasion, Mr. Olatunde Busari, SCN, FCIS. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Fumi, right? You didn't put Fumi in the middle of my name. You made the offer and I accepted. The president, ICSAN, Mrs. Fumi Ewere, FCIS, the doyen of corporate governance in Nigeria, and the first #1 corporate governance practitioner in Nigeria. The vice president, globally acclaimed, undisputed, premium or nothing. Vice President ICSAN, Mrs. Ozumba, FCIS. Past president, my own president, Mr. President, Dr. Nosike Aduke. I'm not sure there are other past presidents because it would be a major offense if I don't acknowledge them. All the past presidents that may arrive after my speech, I acknowledge them in advance. Outgoing chair of the Lagos State chapter, Mr. Olufe. The keynote speaker, Mr. Tolu Lukale, I acknowledge you. My chairman of the Lagos branch of Nigerian Bar Association, BC Makon. You know, if I don't acknowledge him, they may stop me from practicing in Lagos. Distinguished charter secretaries and corporate governance practitioners, members of the outgoing EXCO Lagos State chapter and the incoming members of the EXCO Lagos State chapter, members of ICSAN Lagos State chapter, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to have been invited to chair this very important event of the investiture of our dear sister, colleague, consummate professional, lawyer par excellence, distinguished corporate governance practitioner, great business recovery practitioner, a very humble and patriotic Nigerian, Efosa Ewere, FCIS. I'm also very delighted and happy that I'm chairing the investiture not only of the incoming chair, but of the EXCO members. I congratulate them in advance. The theme of the event is the triad of effective governance: engage, empower, excel. That shows the kind of person the incoming chairman is, but that is not my topic. It's a topic for Tolu, who will do justice to that. I'm here in dual capacity, or probably in multi-capacity, so to speak, as an elder statesman, as you can see, a past president of the ICSAN. I was president, I'm just thinking about it, about 13 years ago. And I'm also here as a chairman of this very, very august occasion. It makes me very happy. For those that know this astute and sagacious professional, Efosa Ewere, FCIS, words are not enough to describe her. For those that do not know her, words are not sufficient to describe her. I have over the years worked her professional trajectory, and I've been very impressed at her career path. I will divulge some of the things that I see and have silently noticed in her. And this will be for the first time. I met her when I was president and chairman of council of ICSAN. I met her being actively involved in the activities of ICSAN way back in 2011. Thereafter, I met her again at professional platform and activities of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, of which I was also very involved in the leadership. That was in 2019. Again, I continued to meet her are very actively involved in professional activities of the Nigerian Bar Association, particularly the section on business law, to mention but a few. I came to the conclusion that it's either that have, one way or the other, been a pulling factor or inspiration to her, or she has been a validating figure that I'm doing the right thing. So when you continue to see the same set of people doing the same thing that you are doing, they are validating figures. And I'm sure Efosa today is an inspiration to a lot of professionals also coming behind. I congratulate you at attaining this height, and of course I join others in wishing you well, and that you will have a very, very successful tenure in office. Efosa is a seasoned professional in corporate governance, also in dispute resolution and insolvency practice. She's one of the very few ladies that dare to swim in a double-edged ocean of not only legal practice, but demonstrably in all other professional activities. She's the managing partner of Gravita Attorneys, a law and secretarial firm in Nigeria providing legal services in the various sectors of the Nigerian economy. A major thing that stands Efosa out is that dogged commitment to professionalism, as can be gleaned from our CV in the brochure that has been given to us. In this day of Jackpot syndrome, it is commendable to see a young, vibrant professional lady that is committed to the Nigerian project, and particularly at building a career at legal and corporate governance practice. I will not go through how she was admitted to practice or how commendable her skills are and how she's a good example of a career woman, but all this she has done commendably. She's a notary public, fellow of ICSAN, fellow of Chartered Arbitrators, fellow of Brightpan, fellow of Institute of Construction Industries Arbitrators, fellow of Professional Negotiators and Mediators, and fellow of Global Mediator Solution. She is a life member of Women's Management, Business and Public Sector WIMBIS, member NBSPL. She's played leadership role with several leading professional bodies, and being a chairperson of ICSAN Lagos chapter is simply another feather to her cap. The new incoming chapter chair, Efosa Ewere, beyond doubt, has a very, very commendable and brilliant track record of leadership. And she now stands on the shoulders of great leaders and past chairmen of the Lagos State chapters. I will do in sentiment and with a feeling of nostalgia, do a roll call of such great men, because when we have the opportunities, we must celebrate people that have served. And I'm sure in years to come, when we are talking about people that have served in different capacities, it will be an honor, living or dead, if our names are mentioned in our presence and behind us. Such great men as Chief Ogiri, FCIS, Chief Gabriel Adebusoye, FCIS, Taiwo Benga Wokolade, who later became the president of ICSAN, FCIS, Mrs. Linda Onefere, FCIS, Mrs. Dr. Nodiadi, FCIS, Dr. Adenka Hassan, FCIS, Ozumba Francis Meshiri, FCIS, Mrs. Biola Lashainde, FCIS, Mr. Francis Olawale, who walked in, I would have recognized you in absentia. Mrs. Nkechi Anyima, FCIS, and the outgoing but now outgone Mr. Olufe Bishokon, FCIS. I say without any doubt that the Lagos State chapter is very lucky to have such caliber of men as leaders, and they continue to be lucky to have such caliber of leadership in Efosa Ewere, the incoming Lagos State chapter chair. And I also recognize and commend all the incoming EXCO members. I congratulate you all, and I wish you a very, very, very good and progressive tenure in office. I congratulate you, and I pray that the Lagos State chapter will attain greater heights under your watch. Amen. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much for allowing me to chair the occasion.
I believe we can do another round of applause. You can tell he's the chairman of the occasion. He stood and took his time. Please a round of applause for our chairman. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue in this August auspicious event, I'd like to quickly recognize some very distinguished dignitaries who just stepped in. We have a member of the council, and also the honorary treasurer, Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Also in the house, we have Chodi Ilogo, SAN. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir. Please permit me to call our incoming president, Double E, for this event. Please a round of applause for Efere Associate Double E. Thank you. I mean, so much has been said of you by our chairman, and I'd like to quickly, in preparation of the keynote speaker, just do an abridged profile of him. A partner and head of the governance, risk and compliance function in the Lagos office of KPMG Advisory Services, who has also advised a number of organizations locally and internationally. A fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and currently serves as the chairman of the Institute of Internal Auditors Nigerian chapter, sits on governing council of the African Institute of Internal Auditors, and serves on the advisory board of the Children International School Lagos, a member of the technical committee of the Financial Reporting Council, who drafted the Code of Corporate Governance for not-for-profit organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker, Evelite, welcome with me, Mr. Tolu Odukale.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, the President and Chairman of ICSAN globally, all members of Council of ICSAN, the outgoing and incoming Presidents, Lagos State Chapter, all other members of Council, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be in your midst again in the Lagos State Chapter, having been here about 3 years ago when you were having your conference to also talk about something similar to this. And for me, looking at the topic that we'll be talking to today, the triad of effective governance, empower, engage, and excel, it is quite germane to what's happening today in preparing us as well as all our organizations for the challenges of leadership as well as the expectations of our followers. So in discussing, I actually have a slide, but it seems maybe we're having some technical challenges, so that I'll just talk through it. But the interesting thing is, in putting together this slide, I asked one of my colleagues to go and give me the first cut. And the interesting thing is, he came back and was defining governance. And I asked myself, by the way, he's also a member of ICSAN. I asked myself, okay, I'm going to talk to people who are professional erudites, and they are the, like the chairman says, they are the doyen of corporate governance. And you're asking me to go and define what governance is. How is that possible? So, of course, I've made some changes to that. And so what we'll be talking about more is we start by just talking about how important 2006 was for the corporate governance profession, as well as for the corporate governance in our environment, particularly in Nigeria. Then look at some of the challenges or organizations that are falling short around corporate governance because of corporate governance issues. Before we then look at the importance of this triad, empower, engage, and excel in helping organizations to avoid the challenges and vagaries that all these other companies have encountered. Okay, so starting with 2006. Now, before 2006, I consider 2006 as a watershed in the annals of corporate governance in Nigeria. And that is because it was in 2006 that the Central Bank of Nigeria actually issued out its own code of corporate governance for banks. Before then, there had been codes of corporate governance, particularly the one issued by SEC. But the level of compliance was quite low, and so the impact that we expect to see within the corporate governance space was, of course, also low. However, in 2006, following the release of that particular code of corporate governance, what we saw was an enhanced focus on the importance and some salient issues that needs to be within any governance structure to enhance the capability and possibility of it being successful. And to further buttress this, a survey was done last year, and the survey was basically asking chief executives of organizations and as well as chief of departments within organizations to rate the effectiveness of their board. The surprising thing from this survey was that 29% of the executives rate their board's overall effectiveness as excellent or good. That is only 29%. The implication of that is 71%, a far majority of these chief executives do not consider their board as being effective. They also went further to say 89% of executives want at least one of the member of directors, they feel they are not adding value and that they should actually lead the board. Again, still asking the executives on the level of engagement of their directors. One of the key points was that it's only 29% again that says that the directors ask probing questions, which would help to ensure that their proper engagement, involvement, as well as commitment to the growth of the organization. And lastly, they also ask about the time spent and whether the time is sufficient. And only 21% felt that the time being spent on governance matter are efficient and fulfilling their responsibility. So this is quite telling as to the implication of engagement of the triads that we'll be looking at on the board, as well as on directors and overall leadership of organizations. And if you look at next slide, if you look at some of the key organizations that have failed around corporate governance, some of the causes of this failure has been assigned to things like domineering personalities, ineffective board and board practices, poor transparency and scrutiny of related party transactions, poor risk management, amongst others. And the essence of this is that the key lessons that is taken away is around the right tone at the top, the effectiveness of board, effectiveness of management of conflict of interest, and extensive stakeholder engagement. So to deal with these matters, it underscores the importance of the triad that we'll be looking at today. And in looking at this triad, I will start by saying the key important things around this triad is that they encapsulate the holistic approach that is required to foster a governance framework that is robust, inclusive, and conducive to long-term success. So, let's take the triad one by one. The first one, engage. The key essence of engagement in any governance structure is that it helps in identifying relevant resources, keeping them focused on the organizational goal. In a number of instances, some of which we will also look at, we've seen instances where organizations are lost focus. We've had instances where organizations are able to engage the right caliber of people to be on their board, but what then happens is a loss of focus. Many reasons are attributable to this loss of focus, and some of them could even be things like the success of that organization, which we've seen in a number of instances have contributed to the unfortunate failure of that organization. Next is empower. And what empowerment is talking about is that there should be an enabling environment created for the resources that have been assigned leadership or as stakeholders in a governance institution to be able to flourish. Clear understanding of what their roles are, as well as tools and empowerment for them to be able to excel. And lastly is the resources of is allowing the resources to flourish, which is the essence of the excel in the triad of engage, empower, and excel. But talking a bit more about the first triad, engage. There are some expectations from a well-engaged organization or governance structure. The first one is the basic, what I consider as the basic expectations. And this is things like punctuality, things like attending meetings, reading board packs, participating in discussions, casting votes. For us, I'm sure we are all familiar with the normal protocol in most of the organizations. That is, first or second item on the agenda is review of minutes. And what you tend to see is that, yes, directors are very active in correcting, telling you where you've made mistakes, where you should put comma, wrong use of grammar, and things like that. But the interesting thing is that no company has failed as a result of failure in identifying grammatical errors in minutes. So, those items are basic to organization. There is a need for ensuring more engagement by them focusing on what I would have categorized as enhanced expectation from engaged board. The first one is the willingness and consistent challenging of status quo. An engaged board is always looking at what has been done in the past and asking the question whether it could not be done better or in a more efficient manner. Another point is around initiating productive debates. So in a number of other boards, you see where you have a domineering personality on the board, what the decision making is always tends towards what the person has spoken, or everybody is looking at the body language of this domineering personality. Once the body language has been understood, nobody asks questions, nobody challenges again. This is a recipe to disaster for that organization. So you need to have a board where there are productive debates on very important matters and strategic matters to the organization. Next is understanding of the organization's mission. Many organizations have failed as a result of conflict on the board. There's a client that I once worked with where the main challenge on the board is that they are working at cross purpose. You will expect that in a commercial enterprise that the essence of everybody on the board is the growth of that enterprise. But what you tend to see is a situation where there are different approach and suspicion also of one another, so there are camps, and of course, this is putting significant pressure on the organization. Therefore, for a board to be properly engaged, everybody needs to understand the mission and be able to work towards this mission. Next is understanding of the role of each member. Now, in this point in particular, you will all agree with me that when members are appointed to boards, each member comes in with a specific skills that have been identified and the company is expecting to benefit from. There is a need to ensure that the directors are clear about this requirement and the skill that they are expected to be demonstrating on the board. It shouldn't be that you have been brought on the board as a finance expert, but you are unable to help in dimensioning and analyzing the financials. So, understanding of the role that you've been asked to play is therefore very essential. Next is collaboration among board members. Now, research has shown that boards where beyond the meetings, directors are able to meet, discuss some of the challenges of the board, compare notes, are more efficient, are more engaged than other boards where directors only come once every 3 months, go through the motion, and the next time they meet is in the next 3 months. Now, I want to share a profile of a company and just ask us to guess the industry where that company is. So please move to the next slide. Now, this is a company, and this is the profile of the directors of the company. One director is a 50-year-old who is a former Telemundo executive. Another is 80 years old, former McKinsey consultant and CEO of a chemical company. Another is 74 years old, former IBM CEO. 77 years old, former CEO of Alibutton. 61 years old, former head of Red Cross. 83 years old, former actress. A 64-year-old former CEO of Sotheby's. 81-year-old former chief economist at Salomon Brothers. 60 years old former CEO of Vodafone. And 75 years old theater producer. And lastly, an 80-year-old former Navy Rear Admiral. So, can we just guess what kind of industry we think this company is, and where you think these skills will be relevant to such organization? Anybody, just mention anything, any industry. Entertainment, not for profit, oil and gas, telco. Okay, thank you very much. I like all those guesses. But it will shock you to note that this is the profile of the board of directors of Lehman Brothers when they collapsed, a financial institution. And to further buttress it, as at that point, the board of the environment where Lehman Brothers operates was very technical. The financial instruments that they are using were not what a number of the 80 years old unfortunately were used to. But it was a very successful organization. So what you tend to see is when you have such organization where the profile of your directors is not sufficient to protect or project the strategy of the organization will be at risk of failure. So, finally, on engagements, and again on the Lehman Brothers issue, is also one of the things that I've noted is you could have, if you look at that profile, a number of former CEOs, they are the profile that when you see it on any company, you are very comfortable and you'll be more willing to associate good governance with that organization. But then, it means that for a board to be engaged, you need to go beyond just the profile of the people you are bringing in, but also consider what they are bringing to the table in the organization. So, what are those critical considerations that needs to be in place for us to be sure that we have an engaged board? So the first one is what I have called motivation. And I think I consider this as very important because from my own experience, what I've seen is you could have all the best profile of directors in your organization, but they don't have the motivation. If you reflect on a number of the boards where we've worked, you will see instances where there are different levels of debate or discussion happening on the board. Some of them are driven because the directors, retired probably, do not have any stake in the organization or have very minimal stake in the organization. I've also worked with a company where the director has a stake, but the stake is not material to him. So things are going negative in the organization, but it was not bothered because, again, that particular organization is not material to his net worth. So the motivation for directors is therefore very critical in ensuring that we have an engaged board. And some motivation could actually be from the need to protect the name of these directors, and that's what most organizations are tending towards. But obviously, this is not sufficient in helping organizations such as Lehman Brothers. There are some other key considerations. Onboarding is very critical. We spoke about clarity of role and expectations. Involvement in strategic dialogue. A situation where directors are part of the key decisions in the organization is very important and helps to keep their engagement. I've also seen instances where, again, directors come for meetings every quarter, and unknown to them, the whole industry is aware that there are issues in the company, except the directors are sitting on the board. So, executive has been able to give them a different story, a more robust story, and again, it's because of their own level of understanding of that particular industry. So, getting them involved in strategy and improving communication is therefore very important. Also, provision of timely communication and information is key. Encouragement of collaboration beyond meetings, like I mentioned. Open communication, feedback. One good thing with the current NCCG, as well as all the leading codes that we operate in Nigeria, is the requirement that directors should also get an appraisal. And increasingly, we are seeing this helping the organization in its growth trajectory. There should be structured meeting plans, agenda, and of course, very importantly, there should be continuous training for the leaders of the organization. The next triad is empower. So please move to the next slide. So when we talk about empowerment, it's basically around creating the enabling environment for the directors to be able to flourish. And in doing this, the key consideration will be, of course, that you should provide all the necessary tools that directors will require to be able to better understand the environment and be able to contribute meaningfully. Another is very important is around delegation of authority. The authority that has been delegated to management is essential in helping management to be able to work efficiently and effectively to achieve the organizational goal. However, it's also important because we've seen instances. There was another company where management, the board has delegated responsibility to management, and the next thing they are seeing is that management is going to raise fund and therefore they are going to dilute their shares. So again, there is a need to find a right balance between delegating authority and also maintaining the key areas that is critical to the organization. And beyond delegating authority to management is then to also give them autonomy to be able to execute and take decisions within a meaningful framework. And lastly, around empowerment is the culture and the environment in which the organization is operating. So moving on to the last and final triad, excel. So after having engaging the right people, empowering them, the final one is then to ensuring that they excel. And the first point around excel that I would like to talk around is performance evaluation. So what we tend to see is where you have the right people, you build them the right tool, but again, there is no clarity on the evaluation or what is required on a short term, medium term, or long term from these individuals. And when these are defined, they are not monitored on a proactive basis. This would affect the ability of the resources that you have to be able to be effective and achieve the expected goals. Another is accountability, and this involves holding individuals and entities responsible for their actions and decisions. Next is integrity. This is extremely important, that the integrity will be demonstrated around display of honesty, fairness, and respect for legal and regulatory standards. And lastly is around timely and accurate disclosure of information to all stakeholders. All this comes together to ensure that the directors are able to excel. So in concluding, I would like to conclude by saying that organizational growth requires fostering an environment where board and management are empowered, engaged, and excel. By focusing on this triad, organizations can pave the way for higher efficiency, creativity, and overall success. So with this, I wish the new ESCO of the Lagos State chapter of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria the very best in their role, and wish them success within their tenure. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm sure we can do better than that. Please, another round of applause for our keynote speaker, Mr. Tolu Ojukale. All right, let me quickly recognize. I'd like to inform you that this event is hybrid, so we have some of our guests also online. Mrs. Benedicta Shadari, FCIS, council member, is online. Please, a round of applause. And I can see here seated Mrs. Linda Wedefeli, FCIS. Please, a round of applause for her. She's also past chairman. And also Mr. Dele Belgore, SAN. Please, a round of applause. You're most welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us. And earlier when Mr. Chairman was talking, and he said that the new chairman belonged to, I counted like 5 or 6 thereabout, fellow, so-and-so, fellow, so-and-so, fellow. When I started associating with ICSAN, I approached Mr. Francis Olawale, who is the honorary treasurer, and said, this fellow, I don't mind, I like to be fellow, And Mr. Olawale said, oh, these are the requirements. And I said, maybe for now, I'll stick with being a member of my church house fellowship. Please, a round of applause for our guests and all the fellows in the house. All right, at this particular point in time, we're going to be taking the valedictory speech by the outgoing chairman. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Olufemi Shoka.
Thank you, Fumi. Before I go on, I have a confession. and with the kind permission of my president and all the council members. When I woke up this morning, I stood in front of the mirror and I said to myself, Olufemi, in the next few hours, you'll be immediate past chairman. And it goes, it's me and the mirror talking, that well, you are also gradually climbing up the ladder. And when we came here today and they invited me to the podium here, and I was going to sit down there, and our able vice president said, no, come over to this side to balance what is there. And when I got there and I looked at my president, I said, what came to my mind is the proverb that says, if you know how to wash your hand, you will eat with the elders. So it's a great honor to be here. The chairman of today's occasion, our past president, chairman board of mentors of our institute, I call him my Egbon, Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAN, FCIS. The president of our great institute and mother of corporate governance, Mrs. Fumi Ekudayo, FCIS. Our able and very pleasant vice president and the global corporate secretary of the year, Mrs. Uto Upana, FCIS. Our ever energetic treasurer, one-time chairman of our flagship chapter, Mr. Francis Olale, FCIS. Our keynote speaker for today, Mr. Tayo Olukale. All our past president present and those online. Our past chairman of the flagship chapter present here and online. Council members present and online. Our incoming, already, Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, and the incoming executives. Members of the council present here and on air. The registrar of the institute and chief executive officer, Mr. Oladepo Okuneye, ACIS, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As I deliver my valedictory speech, what came to my mind is that song, To God Be All Glory. Great things He had done. Indeed, He had done a great thing in our midst. We give praise to the Almighty God for seeing me and my team through the 2 years of our tenure, that is 2022 to 2024. We started with a slogan, Brazen Up, and this has been a guide to us in all our delivery through the 2 years. Within the 2 years, I will just pick few of the things that we did, which is a record progress, and among which are providing a venue for trainings, seminars, and workshops for our members. I'm happy to say to us that in order to encourage many of our members, most of the programs that we had, we made them a free fee paying program. This also encouraged the new ones that are just been inducted coming up. To mention a few of our programs done, in the business meeting, we had erudite and distinguished speakers coming from all facets of life to speak to us. Among such of our topics are the artificial intelligence in corporate governance system. In the area of the workshop, We also selected carefully men and women who have excelled in their area of discipline. For instance, we had a topic, the importance of board audit, understanding the role and significance of the board audit in corporate governance. These and many more we were able to achieve in the area of giving back in training and seminars to our members. Again, in the history of the chapter, we started the Members' Night. This gave members the opportunity to interact and network with one another. This program also opened other opportunities in terms of networking and also in the area of business improvement among members. We also have a landmark achievement in the area of establishing and putting together committees. This gave opportunities to members to serve at various capacities. For instance, we had the education, we had the finance, and then we have the welfare committee, which they all did very well. Another landmark achievement of this outgoing administration is the introduction of the Learning Hub. The Learning Hub is the avenue which came under the Education Committee for our members to interact and also to give the opportunity of bringing out something within the corporate governance but a bit outside. For instance, we had a topic like sex in the boardroom, ground rules for managing hormones, affection, and attraction in corporate space. This attracted a lot. It was online and we had a very good feedback. In the last 2 years of the administration as well, the executive also held retreats and also we put together training programs to enhance the capacity and the ESCO. I can go on and on rolling out several things achieved during my administration, but today is more of celebrating the incoming administration of Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, and our formidable executive. At this point, I want to express my sincere and most reserved appreciation to our amiable, delectable, and ever charming Madam President, Mrs. Fume Kodayo, FCIS. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your motherly role in always supporting a great chapter in all our programs. She is always there. I must also recognize our own soft and ever kind-hearted Vice President, Mrs. Utopana, FCIS. A round of applause for them, please. She has always been a pillar of support to us. I sincerely want to appreciate our treasurer and one-time chairman also of this flagship chapter, Mr. Francis Olale, FCIS. He's a brother both in the professional and outside the professional. One of the people that I run to when I have challenges, and he is always there to support us. Thank you very much, sir. We thank you. I want to thank all the council members. Indeed, you have given us that boldness and courage to go on. I don't want to mention names. All the council members and those who are also former council members, I thank you very much. I also want to thank members of the National Secretariat, ably led by Mr. Oladipo Okuneye, ICSAN, our registrar. They are always with us. Anything that we are doing, we feel that we have a parent that we can run to as they carry out their activities led by our president. I want to appreciate the 3 committees and their members created during this administration: education, welfare, and finance, ably led respectively by Mrs. Noyen Izu Obi ACIS, Mr. Tony Adenobi, FCIS, and Mrs. Wumi Omitogun, ACIS. They have done very well, and I say a big thank you to every one of you. To the Electoral Committee, ably chaired by one of our elders in the Institute, Mr. Tony Okoma, FCIS, I thank you for a job well done, just like the President said in our opening speech, that with that, one of the traces and the good things about ICSAN is our smooth transition. It has happened again, and it will continue to happen. It shows the togetherness and the oneness we have in our institute. Please, a round of applause for our institute. To all members of Lagos State Chapter, I must say I love you so much because you supported this administration, and I know that without you, we cannot achieve much. I was talking to one of our members just before we commenced this program, and she said, oh, Chairman, well done. Even with the rough weather, the challenges with the economy, with so many things, you and your team have been able to pull through. And I sincerely want to thank all the members of this flagship chapter. If not for you, what would our Israel have said? Thank you very much. In conclusion, I want to leave the new administration with this word of encouragement, which I took from the Holy Bible, 1 Corinthians 2:9, which says, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man, the things that God had prepared for this new administration of Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, and our executives to do. So, looking at the theme that they have now, the Triple E, the triumph of effective governance, there is no doubt that we have the right person on board to take over. And all I will say to us is all support that they need, please let us give it to them as we continue to see the progress of our flagship chapter. On this note, I wrap up my valedictory speech to say once again, thank you everyone for your attention. God bless you all, and God bless ICSAN. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, just to make sure that I wrap and I finish with all assignment, because once this medal on here passes over to the new chairman, I become IPC, that is immediate past chairman. When I came this morning, I told her, I said, Efosa, that your case and I is like Elijah. It's a story, and I told her, I said, well, I came early so that I will not put your mind up. Where is this man to, decorate me? But before we do that, I want to call out on all the outgoing executive to please come forward here. I have plaque to appreciate them for a job well done. They stood by me, they supported me through thick and thin. Sometimes we have it rough, and sometimes we mend, the fences. But what matters most is that we are here today, and it will fall short of me if I just let everybody go like that without recognizing and appreciating them. So if you are part of the outgoing executive, which I know that my incoming chairman is also part of it, she's going to join us. At least now I'm still, the medallion is still with me. So please, my incoming, come over. All the other executive members, please, can you please step forward?
see the colors of the rainbow. I can feel the sun on my face. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I can feel heaven in this place. That's the sound of a victory. That's the sound of a victory. I can feel the spirit of the nations. I can feel my wings riding the wind. Yeah. I see the finish line just above midnight. I can feel a rising beat within. That's the sound of a victory. That's the sound of a victory. I can see the distance of the journey. How you come, but on your mind. You open your eyes to overwhelming. And through it
Can
all,
we bring it down, please?
sacrifice. That's the sound of victory.
Mr. Afsa, can you please join them, please? Because of our time, we have the outgoing ESCO, we have some of the CPC members, we have some committee chairman here, and so, anybody missing? That's it. Yeah. Well, others are not here. They will be given after the investiture. So, on behalf of the Institute, our president, and the council, I want to appreciate you all for a job well done. Please a round of applause for them. And on this note, I'd like to present this plaque to every one of them in appreciation of the good work that they have done. They have built on what our elders ahead have done, and I believe that the incoming too will continue, in the same vein and even more. So thank you very much, every one of you. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Please, we take picture. Let's take picture.
What do we do when the DJ's playing our favorite groove? We stand to win the whole ride through. And what do we do when we're all dressed up and in the mood? We stand to what a step us through. Where do we go soon as the weekend gets here? The club, why? To party and have some fun. What is it that can come and take away all your stress? Tell me. Music, of all the questions you have passed my test. Happy people, keeps the world turning.
Thank you very much. One more thing, and that is the my final assignment as the chairman, ICSAN Lagos State chapter, and that is to decorate our new chairman in person of Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS. Right. So a profile will be read while we do that.
All right, this is good, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can we celebrate the outgoing chairman of the Lagos State chapter? Thank you very much. That was a beautiful and a huge success, that actually transited into what we're celebrating this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, an abridged profile of Efosa Ewere, FCIS, incoming chairman ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. Please, may you stand as we do have this on. The cameras can be on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Efosa Ewere is a seasoned professional in corporate governance, dispute resolution and insolvency. She is a managing partner of Gravity Attorney, a law and secretarial firm in Nigeria with a bias in providing tailored legal solutions and consultancy services to clients across various sectors. Through her distinguished career, she has demonstrated exceptional experience as a litigator, arbitrator, mediator, governance and insolvency practitioner. Please a round of applause for her. She provides company secretarial services and conducts audit and board evaluation for organizations. She also represents diverse clientele, including individuals, corporate bodies, and other organizations in commercial transactions like board restructuring, business restructuring, real estate, construction contracts, intellectual property rights, and all. She is, just as the chairman mentioned, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. She's a notary public, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, United Kingdom, a fellow of Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioners of Nigeria, a fellow of the Institute of Construction Industry Arbitrators. She's also listed on the panel of neutrals of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, United Kingdom, Nigeria branch, and the Lagos Court of Arbitration, LCA's Joint Expedited MSME scheme, and also a member of Professional Negotiators and Mediators, PNM, and Global Mediator Solution. Please a round of applause for her again. In addition to her practice, Efosa Ewere FCIS has been actively involved in leadership roles with several leading professional bodies and served in various capacities of these bodies. If you check page 12 and 13 of this brochure, you find all of the places she served as either honorary secretary, member of the planning committee, past chairman at different levels. She is recognized as one of the women in alternative dispute resolution by the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, United Kingdom. Featured as one of the notifiable women in business by Business Day newspaper, a legal personality of the week by This Day newspaper, and the spotlight in the maiden edition of the Governance Professional, a publication of Institute of Chartered Secretariats and Administrators of Nigeria. Efosa, permit me to say double E today, is an advocate. That's yours. Is an advocate for good governance. She's a life member of Women in Management, Business and Public Sector WIMBASE, a member of Nigerian Bar Association and Nigerian Bar Association section of Business Law, NBA, SBL. In her leisure time, she enjoys music, dancing, singing, and playing chess. Oh, she'd have gone for that competition. With a relentless dedication to her craft and a passion for excellence, ladies and gentlemen, Efosa Ewere FCIS continues to make significant contributions to a professional community and broader community. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be decorating her and investing upon her as the 12th chairman of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. Please a round of applause for. I'd like to invite the immediate past chairman, who has done really well by setting up the standards, Mr. Olufemi Shokon, FCIS, to do us this honor. Please put your hands up to BZ. A round of applause for our immediate past chairman.
Thank you very much. Please, can you... Well, the hour has come for the proper baton to be handed over. But I'm not going to do that alone. I will call on President of Council, Mrs. Fumi Ekodayo, to please join us. By the power conferred on me by the President and the Chairman of Council, ICSAN, and all Council members, I am here to decorate the 12th Chairman of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. It's a great honor that Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, is our new chairman. And as I decorate her now, she becomes the 12th chairman of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter.
I believe a round of applause can still continue now while this is done. History is being made today as we decorate the 12th chairman. I don't know why I foresee that someday we're also going to have a situation like this and you have only ladies standing. Wow.
Thank you, my chairman. On behalf of the Institute and the power vested in me as the 12th chairman of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter, I now usher my immediate past chairman, Mr. Olufemi Shokon, into the esteemed league of past chairmen of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter.
Ladies and gentlemen, isn't this beautiful? A round of applause. Smooth transition, no INEC, missing papers and all that. You know
All right, we'll now invite the person of Dr. Sophia Ewere Franklin, FCIS, Notary Public, Nigeria, to come forward to administer the oath of office to the Chairman Executive of the ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Sophia Ewere Franklin, FCIS.
As I have the pleasure of administering the oath of office to the 12th chairman, my dear friend and sister, Ms. Efosa Ewere, and the other members of the executive, can you please step forward as I read out your names? Mr. Adebola Babatunde, FCIS, Vice Chairman, Chief Adewale Adeniji, ACIS, Honorary Secretary, Mrs. Clementina Ramsey Osere, FCIS Treasurer, Ms. Julie Bassi, ACIS Mobilization Secretary, Mr. Daudu Amedo, ACIS Financial Secretary, Mrs. Irene Atto, Publicity Secretary, Mr. Temidayo Odulaja, FCIS Social Secretary, Mrs. Damilola Akinpelu, ACIS Assistant Honorary Secretary, Mr. Oyekunle Olabukula Bukola Idowu, ACIS Assistant Financial Secretary, Mrs. Ufoma Mamoke Oveswo, ACIS Assistant Publicity Secretary, Mrs. Oladoyin Onanuga, ACIS Assistant Mobilization Secretary. So while administering this oath of office, you just repeat after me. So when I say I, you just call out your names and then you repeat after me. After which you all have a sheet of the oath, you sign, and then the registrar of the membership, the chairman of the membership committee will take the rest from there. So, our dear chairman and members of the executive, it's time for your oath of office. Okay. So we're going to administer the oath of office for the members, and then the chairman will be done separately. So you just repeat after me. I, your name. Pledge allegiance to the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter. To be faithful, loyal, dedicated, and abide by the rules and regulations as laid by the Act establishing the Institute in Nigeria. I further pledge to uphold the tenets, ethics and integrity of the profession, and contribute my quota to the upliftment of the Lagos State Chapter of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria. So help me God. So that's your oath of office. So at this point, we are going to invite, you can now go to your seats until an appropriate time you will call forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate the
Let's invite the new chairman, Mr. Efosa Ewere, to take this oath of office. Please repeat after me. I, your name.
I, Efosa Ewere, FCIS.
Pledge allegiance to the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria.
Pledge my allegiance to the Institute of Chartered Secretary and Administrators of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter.
To be faithful, loyal, dedicated, and abide.
To be faithful, loyal, dedicated, and abide by the rules and regulations
as laid by the Act establishing the Institute in Nigeria.
As laid by the Act establishing the Institute in Nigeria.
I further pledge to uphold the tenets.
I further pledge to uphold the tenets,
ethics and integrity of the profession,
and
contribute my quota to the upliftment of Lagos State Chapter.
And contribute my quota to the upliftment of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter. So help me God. Thank you.
So I call on Mr. David Tongude, FCIS, the chairman of the membership and the exec committee, to take up his next duty. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, congratulations. President and Chairman of Council, every other protocol observed, duly observed. My role is just a simple one. This executive has been sworn in. We are introducing a new thing under this inauguration, and I want to congratulate Efosa for being a first beneficiary. First of all, before I explain that, I don't know how many people are not members of the institute in this hall. You are missing a lot. You are missing in the sense that, look, let me just pick something in this hall. Look at the emblem of the institute. You saw a bird perched on that eye. That bird is Charter Secretary bird. And it is invested with a symbol of excellence, symbol of divine majesty. So if you want to belong, please join us as members of this great institute. The executive has sworn to an oath. And they had a primary role, and the primary role has been that you uphold the professional ethics of the institute, you obey the directives and decisions of the council, you will not break the regulations of the institute and its bylaws, and more importantly, you pay your annual subscriptions. I hope that in addition to this new executive will have additional role to play in this dispensation. So as it were now, with the permission of Madam President, we are introducing a national register that all members of the executive will have to sign during their investiture. Can I have the register? Okay. By the powers conferred on me as chairman of membership committee and with the permission of Madam President, having been sworn in as members of this executive, this meeting register has to be signed by all members of this executive as a measure of commitment. And this register will be at the National Secretariat of the Institute, to the extent that whenever any branch is investing their executive, this register must be present and is a symbol of authority of the institute. May God. Thank you. So, Madam Chair, please, you are supposed to sign the register. Can we give her a round of applause? Thank you very much. The members of the executive will have to come in turn. Okay. So, members of the executive will sign thereafter. So while the program goes on, I think where's the vice chair? Vice chair?
Yeah, that's the vice chair.
So, I think the program can go on while they do the signing. Thank
yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love protocol. This is just one of such I've come to understand. And I mean, this is also already making me feel like I should pick up my membership form from here, sir. Please a round of applause for ICSAN. Please celebrate ICSAN. Celebrate ICSAN. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Because you can't run an institute without observing those protocols. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, the moment we're waiting for, the acceptance speech, all right? Because, I mean, we're not sure yet until she tells us that I have accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, please welcome the swift chairman, the substantial chairman of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, as she delivers her acceptance speech. Ladies and gentlemen, oh no, I'm not sure this applause is enough. Come on, can we do it better? Can we do it stronger? Wow, come on, come on, come on, come on. She's expecting more of those applauses. That's it. Thank you very much, DJ. Over to you.
My acceptance speech. The chairman of the occasion and past president of our Growth Institute, Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAN FCIS. The keynote speaker, Mr. Tolu Odukale. The president and chairman of council, Mrs. Fumi Ekundare FCIS. The vice president, Mrs. Utopana FCIS. our Honorary Treasurer, Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS, distinguished members of the Governing Council present, the Registrar of the Institute, Mr. Babatunde Oladipo Okuneye, FCIS, the immediate past Chairman, Mr. Olufemi Shuko, FCIS, past Presidents present, past Chairman of the Chapter present, Fellows of the Institute present, Chairman of other professional bodies present, Chairman of other chapters present, executive members, gentlemen of the press, special guests present, ladies and gentlemen. And in recognizing those who are present is also extended to those who are joining us virtually. Today, the 27th day of April 2024, marks an epoch-making occasion as I stand before you deeply and incredibly honored to accept the role as the 12th chairman of the Institute of Charter Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter for the next 2 years. Above everything, I must thank God Almighty for keeping me alive and for giving me this opportunity to serve as the 12th chairman of this prestigious flagship chapter. I am very unapologetic saying to myself that as a child and an instrument of God's grace, I do not take this day for granted. I must express my sincere gratitude to the leadership of ICSAN, who conceived the idea of a succession planning for this chapter, and to the current leadership of Mrs. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, who ensured that this transition process was seamless. Just like our MC said, there were no missing ballot papers, and it went seamless. I do not take also for granted the trust members of this institute and my immediate past executive committee have bestowed on me. It's been overwhelming. I see this as a privilege and I'm committed to the cause of exercising unwavering dedication and accountability to serving the chapter and the institute. I thank my predecessors who have left indelible marks and footprints on the sands of time, which we now enjoy as a chapter. My team and I do not intend to reinvent the wheel, but will continue to build on the leadership of our predecessors, whose tireless effort laid strong foundations towards ensuring that Lagos State Chapter remains the flagship chapter of the Institute. While reading out my manifesto during the elections that elected me as the Vice Chairman of the chapter, I drew upon the 3 E's: experience, engagement, and excellence to take on that position. These principles led to propounding the Investiture theme, the child of effective governance: engage, empower, and excel. Our institute plays a crucial role in promoting governance, and our role has never been more vital than the present times for this administration. I've decided that our guiding principles will be the 3 E's: experience, engagement, and excellence. We recognize that the chapter is closest to the members, and we are committed to contribute largely to the growth through strengthening the capacity of members. Fortunately, I find myself amidst seasoned members both at the chapter and throughout the institute. Our chapter is committed to leveraging on this wealth of experience through active engagements aiming at excellence in our roles as governance professionals during this administration. We plan to develop various models for continuous learning, catering for members across the spectrum of expertise from foundational to advanced levels. And our objective is to reinforce fundamental knowledge, aligning it with global standards, utilizing accessible online platforms as well as audio and visual resources to achieve this. To lay the groundwork for this success of this administration, a planning committee has been put in place with some structures which had not existed in the past. The committee will comprise of the sponsorship programs, logistics, media and publicity, headed by a chairman and supported by a secretary, while the subcommittees would also have such leadership as chairman. The selection process has been very intentional and well considered. We've enlisted dedicated and experienced members who will contribute their wealth of experience to bolster capacity building initiatives for our members. Every institution relies on effective mentorship to ensure that across generations and maintain its strength. The call for mentorship, especially from budding professionals, has been persistent among members. As part of our initiatives, we intend to establish a mentorship program which would involve both cohorts and seasoned professionals. In addition, we shall facilitate peer coffee chats amongst cohorts to foster supportive networks within the scheme. We would also prioritize governance advocacy, focusing on enhancing skills of our members to excel in their various roles and tasks. This involves initiatives to refine their personal branding through tailored programs. Furthermore, governance advocacy efforts will extend beyond our institute, reaching out to younger generation through media platforms to promote awareness of governance and pivotal roles as charter secretaries. Our commitment in fulfilling the outlined mandate is well within reach. The institute serves as a hub of governance professionals, championing a reputation synonymous with excellence, professionalism, and ethical conduct within the ecosystem. As a chapter positioned as a connecting bridge, we are tasked to advocate the importance of upholding the professional ethos from grassroots level. We are resolute in our determination not to drop the ball. I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to those who have provided unwavering support throughout this journey. First, I extend my appreciation to my beloved family, Mr. Efosa Ewere and Mrs. Marian Ewere, whose absence is filled with heartfelt goodwill messages. And my sisters, Saranse Ewere Bello Ifoko, Ewere Bello, and Musaide Hassan, who are also here present to celebrate with me. Special recognition is also due to the president of the Institute, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS, whose constant guidance has been akin to a mother's care, reassuring me of companionship on this path. Thank you. I'm deeply indebted to esteemed members of this institute who have served as mentors and pillars of support, beginning with our chairman of the occasion, Mr. Olatunde Tesley, Busari, SAN, FCIS, Chartered Administrator, whose leadership witnessed my induction into the Hall of Fame of Chairmen, as the chairman of the Young Members Group of Chartered Institute Arbitrators, and Dr. Nosike Agoke, FCIS, whose providential encounter while we were both on a panel advocating a dispute marked the beginning of an invaluable guidance and support. And to Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS, the Honorary Treasurer, who convinced me to join the ESCO in 2018, and as chairman, made intentional mentorship efforts, and this has greatly contributed to my personal and professional growth. And to Mrs. Abiola Lasainde, FCIS, whose external leadership structure during her administration in 2017 first introduced me to the Institute after my induction as an associate, and provided me the opportunity to volunteer for the chapter. I also extend my gratitude to my friend Julie Ben Bassi, ACIS, who serves as my mobilization secretary and has been a very steadfast source of support since our days of corporate financial management class, as we embarked on our journey to become associates of this great institute. To all my friends, my prayer partners, phrase partners, play partners, most of them are here, they know themselves. Though I may not be able to mention your names, but your good messages are deeply cherished and serves as a testament of an unwavering support for this administration. So as seasoned governance professionals, particularly those who are present in the room, it is time to work. For those seeking collaboration with mutually beneficial purposes, we are excited to engage. Let us unite in pursuit of excellence during this administration. I cannot navigate this journey alone, and I cannot accomplish significant strides without a collective effort of everyone on board. I will leave you with the words of Vince Lombardi, the renowned American football coach. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. God bless ICSAN. God bless ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. I remain yours called to say, as the 12th chairman of ICSAN Lagos State Chapter,
Ladies and gentlemen, present to you, Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, Chairman of ICSAN, Lagos State Chapter. You're not standing and you're not honoring enough. Come on, put your hands together for the 12th. Can we have the extra members? for a new photograph. Congratulations. 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 Yes, sir. She made it. Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations. Efosa Ewere. Members of the Executive Council, please we can take the photograph now. Yeah, you can come up stage. Expo, yes, It's just like every led by the Vice Chairman, led by the delegation of the Executive Council of the Executive Council of the Lagos State Chapter. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champion. Congratulations. Congratulations, the Vice Chairman. Congratulations, the Honorary Secretary, Chief Adewabe, Attorney Chief, FCIS. For the champions, stand up. Congratulations, Dauda Amedu Young David, FCIS Financial Secretary.
And when I fall down,
FCIS Mobilization Secretary.
Congratulations, the Social Secretary, Temidayo Odulaja, FCIS.
Irene Ato, FCIS Publicity Secretary. Congratulations.
Congratulations, the Assistant Honorary Secretary, Damilola Akinpelu, ACIS. Congratulations, the Assistant Publicity Secretary, Ufoma Mamoke Investor, ACIS. Congratulations to the ex-official Alaba Ekundayo, FCIS. Congratulations, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, can we also have the members of the Governing Council? Please, can you join this photograph, please? Thank you.
Members.
Council members, please. Yes, please. Well, just, it will help us to... Okay, so the escorts can be... Okay, so we can have, the photograph accommodate everyone. Thank you. Okay, the escorts can come down. Yes, the state escorts, the state chapter escorts. Thank you very much. Yes, so don't worry, you're going to be elevated soon. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations. Ozumba, congratulations. All right, so the members of the Governing Council, thank you. Congratulations. The keynote speaker, Mr. Tolu, yes. Odun Kale, please. Thank you. Please join us. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just informed that, what a timely, this is, I believe, is divinity at play. Today happens to also be the birthday of the substantial 12th chairman of ICSAN. Ladies and gentlemen, can we reach Ewere? Oh my goodness, can we reach Efosa FCIS? Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
It's a memorable day.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord, may the good Lord, may the good Lord bless you. All right, please permit us to cut this cake quickly. DJ, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Past Chairman, Lagos State Chapter. On the podium, the past chairman on the stage. Past chairman, please. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. It's really a good time
time to celebrate. Please, another round of applause for our chairman, the 12th chairman, ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. Let me quickly recognize the presence of Mr. Luke Chidi Logu, SAN. Please, a round of applause for him. And also Mr. Mark Adoga, Executive Director, Citibank. Thank you so much for being here. All right, at this point in time, we're going to be having the chairman's closing remarks, and that will be calling on Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAN FCIS. Oh, I forgot to add Mr. Olatunde for me.
I've assumed they're not needed now. You didn't put Oluwa for me. I had the chairman's speech when we started the occasion. I'm not about to change everything that I said when I made that speech. Only that now I want to thank specially, because while I was making my delivery, my mom came in, Mr. Chidi Logu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I was not afraid to specially recognize you. And about this time yesterday, I mentioned to my very dear brother and friend, from the same mother, so they say, about this event. And he said, yes, I know Efosa, she's a very good person, and I think we've worked together before. I will honor her with my presence. Mr. Mohamed Delebegre. So he's here not because Efosa invited him, but because he feels ICSAN is a member of the family of ICSAN. He was there when I was being sworn in as president of ICSAN in 2011, and he was there when I bowed out, I think in Abuja in 2013. So thank you for being faithful, Mr. Delebegre. And I also want to acknowledge with Thanksgiving, my friend of 40 years, Honor Yebuchi, who we did law together, but this is the second time I'm seeing her in 35 years. So I give God the glory that we are both alive to see ourselves again. So the event of today is very important, and we pray that it will be, it will indicate growth, development, and more elevation for ICSAN as a profession association. The recovery boards engage, empower, and excel. I will not waste time. The prayer on everybody's lips, and my prayer to you, Efosa, and your team, MC Fumi, they are distracting now. My prayer to you and your team is that God will grant you the strength to engage. Amen. God will grant you the wisdom of empowerment. Amen. And at the end of the day, God will make you excel. Amen. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending. I'm not sure I have to declare the occasion closed because there are still items on the agenda, but I think we should round up because time is fast spent. Thank you very much, everyone.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Give a round of applause for Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir. Wow. Okay, I want to be like you once I grow a little older. I mean, you're just on point. Please celebrate great event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. At this juncture, we presented a presentation of plaques. I believe the ushers point. Let's have the plaques. And I'd like to invite, I like the way Mr. Chairman, described her as the doyen of corporate governance. Ladies and gentlemen, the original Olufunmilayo. As she comes to handle this part. I'm also trying to take a cue here. I'm also a 27th, not of April, of one of the months. So maybe I have to look for one investiture to align with my birthday. I believe that will work. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I leave the mic for the doyen of corporate governance.
Thank you so much. While they are arranging the plaques, I'm so delighted. Myself and the VP, where is she, by the way? I can't see the VP, I can't see the honorary treasurer. Where did they both go to? Okay, so I'm so delighted. I didn't know it was Efosa's birthday today. Mr. Chairman, with your kind permission, just 1 minute, I'll make it snappy. When she contacted me and said, this is the date she has chosen for her investiture, I said, I will be outside the country. Let me check with my agent if there's anything that can still be done, because I was meant to return on Sunday. Good enough, we were able to do it, but guess what? At great stress and distress to myself and the VP, because it took us just about 4 days to make the trip to and fro, just so that we could make this event. So I'm really glad that we learned the reason why this birthday song could not be sang alongside the investiture song. So once again, congratulations, Madam Chairman. On that note, I'd like to start with our visitor, our keynote speaker of today. I hope that, you reminded us that you were with us. Please step forward, sir. You were with us a couple of years ago. I want to believe that by the time you're joining us next, by the time we're inviting you next as a resource person, you will be a full-fledged member of ICSAN. Do I have your assurance? Yes. So thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for giving us your time today, and for most importantly, presenting a very, very profound paper on the topic of today, at today's investiture of the 12th chairman of the Lagos State chapter of ICSAN. We're really grateful. I know that we had the slides being projected as you made your presentation, and I believe that it will be made available virtually to everyone. Those slides were really, really insightful. I would like to thank you for giving us your time today and honoring us with your presence as our keynote speaker at Ms. Efosa Ewere FCIS's investiture as the 12th chairman of the Lagos State chapter. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman just balanced the picture. Congratulations.
When I was delivering my brief remarks, I referred to him as my big brother. And time really does fly. When he said he was our president 13 years ago, I was like, wow. Please let us, with a delightsome applause, invite our chairman of today's occasion, our own veteran, revered, respected past president ICSAN, Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAM, FCIS. Thank you. My Egbon, we appreciate you as always. You refer to yourself as an elder statesman. Very true. The Yorubas always say, Amariyiba. So I pray that each time we have reason to call on you to support us in one way or the other, you will always be there for us, by the special grace of God. Thank you so much for today, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Madam President and Chairman Council, Doyen of Corporate Governance, Mrs. Fumi Ekundaya FCIS. Please a round of applause for her here. All right, about this time we'll have the The vote of thanks will be delivered by the Vice Chairman, substantial, Mr. Adebola I. Babatunde, FCIS. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you. I understand to win the Vice Chairman is the Coco. Please celebrate the Vice Chairman. That's where we do the political movement.
Thank you very much. Wow. It's been a good day, and I'm happy to see everyone here. I feel privileged to stand before everyone here to give this vote of thanks on behalf of our chairman, Ms. Efosa Ewere, FCIS, and other executive members who are inaugurated here today. As the Yoruba adage goes, any tabashi lori tí ó dúpẹ́, ó máa dàbí ọlọ́ṣà tó kó ilé ẹrù lọ. The interpretation of that is that an ungrateful beneficiary of a favor is like an armed robber. So on that note, I would like to say thank you to our chairman, Mr. Olatunde Busari, SAN, FCIS, the chairman of today's occasion, and a former president of the institute. We are grateful for your support. I also like to thank the president of the institute and chairman of council, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS. Your leadership and support are well appreciated. Thank you very much, ma'am. And to our vice president, Mrs. Uto Pana, FCIS. Thank you, and congratulations once again on your award as the Global Corporate Secretary of the Year. Next, I would like to thank the Honorary Treasurer of the Institute, Mr. Francis Olawale is now on seat. We thank him for his support. And then the Registrar of the Institute and CEO, Mr. Babatunde Okuneye, ACIS, thank you very much. Members of the Governing Council here present, we have a number of them. You have Mr. Delito Gunde, I can see Mrs. Nkechi, so thank you very much, Mrs. Laseinde. Thank you very much for your presence here today, for gracing this occasion. To our special guests of honor, we thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules to be here. To the keynote speaker of today, Mr. Tayo Dukale, we say thank you for your insightful lecture. I had to take some notes when you were making that presentation. To the League of Past Chairmen of our chapter, we say thank you. We are riding on the good work you've done right before us, and we are counting on your continued support. To chairmen of other chapters of ICSAN, present and those online, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. You are well appreciated. To chapter members present, you brought us here. We thank you because you supported us to get here, and your continued support for being here. We say thank you. And we have sponsors, all the sponsors who have supported us all the while, both financially, both with materials. We greatly appreciate all your efforts. We greatly appreciate them. To gentlemen of the press and MCs, thank you very much. And I want to say to our guests and well-wishers and learner six in the house, we say thank you for sharing your day with us. To our friends and families, you know, when we go out there, even if we have issues, you are the people who cheer us on, who give us the support. I want to say thank you for that. And to the Investiture team, your work showed. We thank you for your efforts. Today has been a great day, so thank you to you. And to my fellow ESCO members, congratulations to us all. I'll just say we started the work, so let's continue the work. We trust that we'll see all of you more and more at our subsequent events and programs. And I pray that you all have a safe journey back to your various destinations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice Chairman Adebola Babatade, FCIS, the Vice Chairman, Lagos State Chapter, ICSAN. Please, another round of applause for him. All right, before lunch is served, we have some order of photographs we're going to be taking. I know we've taken quite a number of photographs in the course of the event this afternoon, but I'm going to be announcing some order of photographs, official ones. Okay, so please permit me, Madam Chairman, please stand. All right, so first, we'll have with the immediate past chairman, ICSAN, Lagos State Chapter, Mr. Olufemi Shoko. Photographers, okay, so let's quickly do that. Let's try and make it snappy. All right, of course, do stay please, do stay sir. We'll be joined by the Mrs. President and of course, Vice President, please do join them. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right, Mr. Tunde Busari, SAN, and our keynote speaker, please join our chairman. Thank you, sir. All right, council members, can you please step to the podium? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Council members. Special recognition to the Registrar and CEO ICSAN, Mr. Babatunde Okuneye. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Okuneye. Thank you so much for being here. All right, the chairman with the executive Lagos State Chapter, please come up stage. All right, let me quickly recognize Mrs. Olushola Agbomery, Chair, Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, UK Nigeria branch. Thank you for joining us. All right, calling on stage the TURF chairman and our family members. Her family members, please come up stage so you can take a picture. Please a round of applause for them. Join your family too. All right, thank you. And of course, the TURF chairman and friends. Your friends. Her friends should please come up stage and join her. All right, friends. Please, let's make it snappy. Thank you. Just a few more of your indulgence, please. Please, all the SANs in the house.
Standing by the potential SAN.
Yes, sir. All right, let's also call on the Investiture Planning Committee. Please come up stage. Investiture Planning Committee, please come up stage, take a picture. Thank you. Let me also call on the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators family. Where are you? Please come up stage. Chartered Institute of Arbitrators family. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you for coming. Other photographs will take place afterwards. But let me inform you that lunch is served at the poolside. Lunch is served at the poolside. So immediately you just come out of this auditorium, just go to your left. I'm sure there will be ushers to usher you to the poolside where the lunch will take place. So once again, a big thank you to everyone. It's been a wonderful occasion and it's been an honor to stand here to anchor alongside my friend and brother. My name is Fumi Omoboriwo, and I say congratulations to the church chairman, ICSAN Lagos State Chapter. Thank you. It's been an honor being here.
All right, thank you very much. Fumi, which of the Fumi is not?
Don't worry. Original. We have originals. Like originals.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, Mr. Chairman, sir, please thank you. It was an honor to round off this event officially with the national anthem. Please, ladies and gentlemen, may we rise. DJ, may we rise. I understand you need to have this card. DJ. Where are you, Balloon? All right, so I understand you need to have this card to access the launch arena. And then, of course, the members of the high table or this panel, we have an exclusive arrangement. So please, Mr. Chairman particularly, the Dorian wants to spend the lunch with you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. My name is Sam Uchanamale, with the original. Can we have the national anthem also bring this auspicious event to a close? Thank you very much. Have a beautiful afternoon. Thank you, President, Madam Chairman, and of course, Mr. Chairman of the occasion. Have a beautiful afternoon and enjoy the weekend. God bless you. So we can see the next 10 minutes for some networking, some, exchanging of pleasantries and changing cards and all. We need about 10 minutes to prepare the launch arena. Yes, we need about 10 minutes to prepare the launch arena. So it's a good time to take all the pictures. I'm sure the celebrants, probably silent celebrants are very good at the pictures. So let's take all the pictures. Please, I wish you know that lady when she used to like me. I'm not sure I'm in that area. Please tell her I'm the one in charge and I'm holding the mic.
Let's just network, let's chat with old friends, and let's just give them another 5-10 minutes and lunch will be served. Thank you.
scandalous. No one other nigga can handle it. She shaking that thing like a competition.
Let's take a picture with her.
Just a bitchy type of